Alright, sitting outside the gym right now. Hopefully the wind noise isn't too bad. It's a little windy out right now. But today, I'm going to teach you the steps to get you up and over the bar. That's right, talking about your first muscle up. So, I'm going to go through the steps that got me up and over the bar. Go through a couple tips and tricks that I learned and ways that I perfected it, so that hopefully we can get you doing your first muscle ups fairly soon. Now, this isn't going to come overnight. Obviously, it's going to take some time. It took me a couple months to figure out. It took me a couple months to master, but it's well worth it. It's a lot of fun. It's a great exercise. Total upper body. You got your pulling and your pushing, and then, I mean, who needs legs? So, total body workout, right? Let's get right into it. So first off, obviously you need to know how to do a pull-up and you need to know how to do a dip, because as you might know, a muscle-up is a combination of a pull-up to the bar and then a dip up and over the bar. So I'm going to show you what an actual muscle-up looks like, and then we'll run through the steps. Now, I'm pretty lucky. I realize my gym has a pretty ideal setup for muscle-ups and learning muscle-ups, and you don't need a lot of fancy stuff. All you need is a bar. It could be a Smith machine, it could be a pull-up bar, it could be a bar at a park somewhere. You need to have room above it so that you can go up and over the bar, obviously. So the ceiling can't be too low. Now, I'm going to show you everything you need to know in order to, in theory, be able to do a muscle-up. Now, obviously, it's going to take some time to practice and perfect, and a lot of it is about technique. A lot of it's strength, obviously, but I'd say a lot of it is technique as well. You do have to be strong, you have to be able to get yourself up and over the bar, obviously, but if you don't have the right technique, you will fail. You saw me do a muscle up, you know I can do them. I'm gonna show you the right way to do it and the wrong way to do it, and then we'll get into how to do it. See why. It's all about timing. Obviously, like I said, it's about strength, but it's about timing too. If you try and do the muscle up at the wrong time, your body will be thrown in the wrong direction and you will never make it up and over the bar. Simple physics. So, I'm going to show you from a different angle, and maybe you'll be able to see a little bit better. I'm so happy, I can't memorize my lines. I'm so happy, I can't memorize my lines. I'm so happy, I can't memorize. So by now you can see I'm using momentum, and although it's not a perfect muscle up, this is a tutorial on how to get you to your first muscle up. So it's not going to be perfect, it's not going to be the prettiest thing in the world, but we're going to get you up and over the bar. So that's why I'm showing you this way. I can show you strict muscle ups, I can show you that, but that'll be for another day. So, steps to get the muscle up. First progression, pull-ups, easiest thing. Let's get started. Now, I realize some of you might not even be able to do pull-ups, and that's fine. When I first started working out, I literally could not get one pull-up in. My goal was to get 10 pull-ups. I can do more than 10 now, but this is the way I progressed. So if you can't already do a pull-up, work on the negatives. Your muscle works in both concentric and eccentric, isometric as well, but we're worried about the concentric and eccentric right now. Concentric is the pulling motion of the pull-up, and eccentric would be the relaxing of it. Now, you can work your muscles both concentrically and eccentrically, like I said, and both are important. But if you can't get the concentric, where the actual pull-up is, work on the negative, work on the eccentric portion of it. And this is how you can do that. This weather has really been messing with me. You got blue skies and then you got clouds, and I do manual exposure, so it's going from completely overexposed to completely underexposed, but hopefully we get that fixed. So as I said before, I have like the ideal setup for doing muscle ups here with the high bar and then the low bar, but you don't need an ideal setup. You can go to any pull-up bar, set up a chair, or just jump up to the bar so that you're in the fully contracted position, hold it for a second, and lower yourself down as slow as possible. Now, don't be discouraged, because some of you might not even be able to hold yourself and lower yourself down under your own power. But as you work on it, as you keep doing it, as you work on holding it at the top, you will slowly get better and better and stronger, and you'll be able to lower yourself down slowly. A good test is see how long it can take you to do a full pull-up. I'm talking all the way down, all the way up, and then all the way back down again. If you can't do that, chances are you might not be able to do a muscle up and you need to work on that. And if you can't do it slowly, you don't have the control and you need to work on that. So like I said, you can grab a chair, just get yourself up to the highest point of the pull-up and lower yourself down and work on that until you can get 10 solid reps and then move on, and hopefully you should be able to do your first pull-up at that point. So now, obviously, there's more to a muscle up than just a pull-up, and you need to be able to do an explosive pull-up or a plyometric pull-up, which means you need to just be able to get the bar not only to your chin, but to about your chest, because that's the point where you need to rotate to get over the bar for the muscle up. So work on your explosive power, work on your strength in a pull-up, and I'll show you what that means. I'll show you first a normal pull-up, and then I'll show you an explosive pull-up. So by now, hopefully we have the pull-up out of the way. Let's move on to the pushing motion, the dip. Obviously, if you can't do a dip, start with the basics. Start with a push-up. If you can't do a push-up, do it elevated. So have your hands higher than your feet. It'll lower your body weight essentially, and it will be easier for you to do push-ups. So work on that progression. I'll show you the first one. I'm so happy, watching my mesmerized body lines. 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 I'm so happy. So there's just a nice and easy push-up progression. Now, chances are if you're looking up how to do a muscle up, you've already got the push-up down. You probably already have dips down, you probably already have pull-ups down. This is just for somebody who can walk into the gym, walk into a park or something, and learn step by step from square one to their first muscle up. From the push-ups, now you saw the last push-up we did was a diamond push-up. That starts to activate your triceps a little bit more. Obviously a regular push-up is gonna hit your triceps, but that focuses a little bit more on it. Now, we can go right to dip bars, we can do dips there. However, although it is gonna be a good tricep exercise, at the top of the muscle up, your hands are pronated, as opposed to a neutral grip. So let's focus on that form of a dip. So let's just go back to the bar. Hopefully you can get up and over the bar, and you can do dips that way. So let's work on that. I'm so happy, I cannot memorize my lines. I'm so happy, I cannot memorize my lines. I'm so happy, I cannot memorize my lines. Now, one of the most important points for the pull-up is you need to be able to retract your scapula and not just use momentum to get yourself up and over. You need to use your lats, you need to use your upper back, and you need to be able to physically pull yourself up. And that also goes with muscle ups. So here's another progression, still underneath the bar, that you can do in order to start to get the form down and the technique that you need before you get yourself up and over the bar. Quick little disclaimer, your hands are going to get destroyed. If you have calluses from lifting, they're going to get ripped. If you want to use gloves, use gloves. If not, use chalk, or just go natural, like I am. I'm so happy. I'm so right, we're getting there. Only a few more steps to go. So we worked on the eccentric pull-up. Now we need to work on the eccentric muscle-up. And in order to do that, you need to be up and over the bar. And I'm gonna show you the easiest way to get up and over. It's gonna involve a little bit of core strength. So if you don't have the strength to do this, work on your leg lifts and your crunches. Get your abs nice and strong, get your core nice and strong, and then you should be able to do it. Tired and sore, but the point of that is to be able to get yourself to the top of the muscle up and then slowly lower yourself down all the way through the exercise, so you're using exactly the muscles that you need in order to get up over the bar, but the opposite way. You can train lat pull downs, you can do pull-ups, you can do dips, you can do bench, you can do any form of exercise that hits the target muscles that you're supposed to recruit when you're doing a muscle up. But unless you're actually doing the motion, you're not going to get the functionality of the muscle that you need in order to physically get up and over the bar. One thing I need to touch on is hand placement. Even if you have the strength to get up and over the bar, if your hand is like this, you will never be able to get your body all the way up and over. So I have really weak wrists. They're very tiny. But what I like to do with a muscle up is a false grip, and I like to start with my hand not up and over the bar this far, just up and over it enough so that when I'm going up, I can rotate nice and easy and get up and over. So like I said, if your wrist is like this, you're just going to be stopped by your wrist and you'll never get up and over the bar. You can do a muscle up with your thumb around it. I've done a muscle up and I do muscle ups that way too. So if you're concerned with not having the grip on the bar, do it that way. I've been doing muscle ups for a while. I know I'm comfortable. I know I'm capable of doing them with my thumb over it. That's just how I prefer to do muscle ups. So work on that grip. The sun is throwing my exposure off. If you're not completely comfortable with the thumb over grip and you want to be able to do that for muscle ups, start training with pull-ups. Do your pull-ups that way. Do your lat pull downs that way. Do your rows that way. Get comfortable with it so that once you're up and over the bar, so that once you're up and over the bar, you don't have to worry about losing your grip or falling off the bar or anything like that. Not that that's happened to me. I'm just saying mentally it could mess you up a little bit. So we should have everything you need to get your first muscle up down, except for how to actually do the muscle up. So let's just go through that right now. So I will obviously show you, but I'm going to walk you through what goes on in my head when I'm doing a muscle up or preparing to do a muscle up. So to do your first muscle up, you want to start about a foot to a foot and a half behind the bar and jump up at the bar so that you're going this way. Once you hit the bar and you grab the bar, your body is going to come underneath, and then right at that point, you want to bring your knees up, explode, and try and bring the bar all the way down to your lap. Bring it to your hips, bring it to your waist, whatever you want to think of, bring it to your belly button. Just think about getting it further than your chest, and then you should be up and over it. Now, obviously, it's not as easy as it sounds. It's going to take some time. It's going to take a lot of technique, but just practice that. Work on your explosive pull-ups, get your legs involved, bring your knees to your chest, and just think about throwing the bar down to your waist. I'll show you what I mean. I'm so happy. This sun is really killing me, but you see what I mean there? How it's a lot of technique. Obviously it's a lot of strength, but it's a lot of technique too. And in order to get your first muscle up, like I said, it's gonna be sloppy, but you just wanna get up and over the bar. You wanna feel that feeling. You wanna be able to get up in there, and then you wanna be able to polish it and work on the technique, work in order to get like a strict muscle up. So, key points, be able to do body weight dips on top of the bar, have a strong core, be able to retract your scapula, be able to explode on a pull-up, start behind the bar so that when you jump towards the bar, you get the momentum of your body going forward to then propel you when you use your knees and get yourself up to the point of the bar where you need to just rotate and then get into the dip position. With that being said, let's do some muscle ups.
I'm so